The Judgment Day has a lot going on, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out what's going on with Cody Rhodes, The Rock, and more. Starting things off with the Judgment Day and a request that CM Punk made to Roxanne Perez. Roxanne celebrated her 24th birthday this week, and CM Punk, being her wrestling father, took to his Instagram story to wish her a happy birthday and say how proud he is of all her hard work lately. But he ended that birthday message by telling her that she needs to stay away from Dominik Mysterio. So definitely a fatherly type of message and warning there from CM Punk. He's very proud of who Roxanne Perez has become and the amazing trajectory that her career is on. But he feels like Dominik Mysterio is a very bad influence and he would drag her down if she got too close to him. So CM Punk is giving her a fair warning to stay clear of Dominik Mysterio, but obviously we're unsure if she'll listen to that advice. Dominik and Roxanne have been having a lot of little conversations in recent weeks. Another one of their talks took place on the November 3rd edition of Raw. Dominik Mysterio had his segment interrupted by Rey Mysterio, who was making his first appearance since getting injured back in April. Rey said that he had no issue if Dominik wanted to label himself as the greatest champion of all time, but calling himself the king of Lucha Libre is where Rey draws the line and had to come out there. It looks like another major singles match between Dominik Mysterio and Rey Mysterio is being set up here, and this time around there's going to be championship gold on the line. Either that Intercontinental title, the AAA title, or maybe even both, we don't really know yet. But it's another high-stakes matches between father and son. Dominik picked up a win over Rey Mysterio last year in a mixed tag match, but Dominik has never defeated Rey in singles action. Dominik has just surpassed 200 days as Intercontinental Champion, so maybe this is the point where his opponents start getting even tougher. He now has his father on his tail again, so Dominik would have to find a way to survive that title defense. And given his recent storyline of cheating to win in every title defense, we can certainly expect Dominik to try and cheat during his title defense over Rey Mysterio. Then you still got the rumors that Dominik will defend against John Cena before the end of the year, so that's another possibility as well. So Dominik could have those massive title defenses coming up real soon. But then we see Dominik confront the Judgment Day backstage for not being out there, not having his back and letting him get embarrassed by his father once again. And we see that no one is really on Dominik's side. Finn and JD still blame Dominik for their loss of the tag titles, so they've been holding that against him in recent weeks. Raquel has a big Women's World Championship match coming up, so her mind is set on that at the moment. But it was Roxanne who was the only Judgment Day member to comfort Dominik and give him some advice. Roxanne sat Dominik down and advised him to go out there to ringside and support Finn and JD to try and fix these current issues. Dominik loved what Roxanne had to say and agreed that she had some great points. So Dominik goes out there, but everything goes wrong. Sheamus goes after Dominik, so much distractions are going on, and Finn and JD end up losing their tag team titles match. And you can argue that it was because of Dominik once again. So the tension amongst the Judgment Day, mostly with the male members, is only going to continue to rise, that's for sure. But there definitely appears to be something brewing between Dominik and Roxanne. It's not full-blown romance at the moment, but Roxanne is the only member of the group that's being patient and understanding with Dominik. She's trying to get him to make better moves and understand situations, rather than just giving him a side-eye like the rest of the group is doing right now. So that appears to be where Dominik and Roxanne's status is at right now. Every week they're having these little moments and little conversations that Dominik does seem to be enjoying and understanding. So things will definitely get more insane between Dominik, Finn, and JD. But it looks like we can also count on Roxanne Perez to try and be the peacemaker in that situation, and continue to get close to Dominik in the process. An important detail for Dominik's character was also recently pointed out by Sam Roberts. In prior times, commentators would put Dominik over as this grimy sleazeball that didn't really know what he was doing, but would scramble and play dirty to sneak his way through things. But now, ever since this cheating narrative has started for Dominik, commentators are putting Dominik over as a creative genius for all these successful cheating tactics he's coming up with. So a big change there from how the commentators speak about Dominik. We'll have to see if that'll lead to any other character changes down the line. Cody Rhodes recently appeared on All the Smoke for an interview, and one of the biggest things Cody touched on there was The Rock. Cody had this to say when speaking on The Rock, quote, "He came back to a very tumultuous WWE a year or so ago and decided, nope, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm instead going to create a new character, even though I'm already one of the greatest characters ever, that being the Final Boss. We've just scratched the surface on the Final Boss. There's something incredibly special there, so The Rock is on my Mount Rushmore," end quote. So Cody was talking about why The Rock was on his Mount Rushmore there with that response. but there were a few lines in there that fans understood as a teaser for the future. Cody Rhodes explained his love for the final boss character, how there's something special there, and how they've barely scratched the surface of where they could take things with that character. The Rock has pretty much echoed the same exact thing in recent memory. The Rock said that 2024 was the first chapter of the final boss, and ever since then, he's teased that there's more to come. We saw a handful of appearances from The Rock in the beginning of 2025. It seemed like chapter 2 of this character was underway, but he turned into a ghost and vanished after Elimination Chamber way back in March. So that really flatlined his character and everything that was happening there. But Cody Rhodes is right. The final boss is a great act and special character. There's an unlimited amount of possibilities they can do there with a character like that. It's just the lack of appearances and inconsistency with the storytelling that holds that character back. But if they were to really lock in with all those aspects and departments, a lot of special things could be happening with The Rock. The latest with The Rock's status is pretty much what it's always been. It's a complete mystery. No one knows when he's showing up again, but everyone continues to hype up his next run and appearance. A fan conversation is going on right now that does have some truth to it and has fans talking. So let's dive into that topic. And that's the conversation about the lack of top-tier compelling storylines right now in WWE. Fans are saying that there's a lot of average to good stories and feuds happening at the moment, but there's nothing that's absolutely mind-blowing and compelling going on right now. Nothing to the level of the prime days of the Bloodline. Nothing to that level, and the fans got a point there. There's no real storyline that's deep and has these nice weekly reveals. There's none of that going on right now. Things feel a bit bland across the cards from top to bottom. You look at the men's world title picture, CM Punk is the champion. That's cool, but he's not going to have a feud at the moment since they're preparing for War Games. So they're probably going to load the War Games matchup with big names, but the overall story has been more on the average side so far. Then over with the WWE title picture, Cody Rhodes has been feuding with Drew McIntyre since he won the title in August at SummerSlam. And there's not much to really dive into there either, and fans are starting to mentally check out of that feud because it has only consisted of Drew McIntyre losing in every possible way. Stephanie is about to have her first title defense since winning the title back in September, and she has that whole story going with Nikki and the Judgment Day. But from a story perspective, nothing is really standing out. We discussed it last week, but Bayley's entire split personality story that started off as being interesting looks like it was suddenly dropped. So you have great matches going on, great title defenses, and everything else there in between, but it looks like something fans are wanting right now is deep storylines, and that's just not currently there with the current product. You got a bunch of good things and events happening every week, but not to the level of a compelling continuous storyline. So that's a major conversation that fans are having right now. Where are the storylines? Triple H even said in a recent interview that they're working on telling the greatest storylines, and how telling a story is the most important part of the industry, and fans are waiting to see when those great storylines will start kicking off here on television. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.